Dear students, today, as part of our paper Consumer Awareness, I would like to conduct a class on product risk. This particular topic on product risk is the final subtopic in Unit 2. And here, I would like to bring forth examples from the service sector more than from the production sector. Product risk is one segment in business where people who make that business think whether this particular product or service will be accepted by the consumers or not. So, whether this particular service or product will have a successful future and reception is the question here for discussion. For example, a company which wanted to try new medicine for filariasis, it employed an NGO in India and asked that NGO to study whether there is the spread of filariasis. So, if there is no spread of this disease in certain pockets, then there is no use of producing this particular medicine. So, once after producing that, it should be reaching large number of people, and if it is not well received, then it is going to give a lot of loss, not only for the company, but it also will be branded as useless for the society at large. Therefore, risk management can be said as a process of identifying, treating, controlling and monitoring risk as part of product development or product management as well as service supply. So, there are 10 subtopics within this risk management or product risk, where we can start with the demand risk. Demand risk is the failure to generate demand for a product launch and other risks related to demand. So, for instance, earlier when the Colgate company was trying to market its product, chiefly it is dealing with products on dental or teeth cleaning. So, it largely found Indian people making use of charcoal or salt for cleaning the teeth. So, they advertised and also advocated that using of charcoal and salt is highly risky and unhealthy for the management of good teeth, and therefore it should be avoided in the place of using Colgate. And people gradually shifted from this charcoal and salt, and they adopted the practice of using toothpaste, and Colgate had its own market in that segment. And with time, what happened was, this company now advertises that a healthy teeth requires the composition of charcoal and salt. So, the company is taking a U-turn, and it is taking U-turn because if it is not going to take such an U-turn, then another company is going to drop this kind of a justification and capitalize on the market. So, they generated not only demand but also risk related to demand. If somebody is going to ask that how this charcoal is going to affect the teeth or salt is going to affect the teeth, at that juncture they had their own argument to justify their standard, and this is how the demand risk is being handled by business people. And this demand risk at times, as I hinted to you, is in contradiction to truth, and therefore it is the duty of the customer to realize what is right and what is wrong. So, nextly it is operational risk. So, operational risk, the classical example can be derived from the present situation where we encounter the problem of coronavirus or COVID-19. So, various industries and the universities, they are researching on finding a suitable vaccine to fight this coronavirus. So, Oxford University, it came out with a first successful or so called first successful vaccine, but in the third stage of its trial it failed, and therefore now people's concentration has shifted to other companies or other laboratories that are doing research on this. So World Health Organization is saying that before this vaccine is launched, near about 20 million people will be killed, and therefore this product, when it reaches the people, it has already wasted a lot of time, and there is a huge loss in the economic sector due to this delay, and therefore this kind of risk is called operational risk. Thirdly, it is the price risk. See, motorcycle companies, for example, they have universal brand value, and particularly Yamaha, Honda and Suzuki, they have world market. But what happens is, in the rating of motorcycles, Harley Davidson is placed first. So before Harley Davidson establishing its outlet in India, Yamaha, Suzuki and Honda, they captured a considerable part of the market. The price they fixed is suitable for the Indian market also, and usually they offer or they introduce motorcycles for family use, and rarely they also introduced sports utility vehicles or sports model motorcycles. So this Harley Davidson, it not only came late, but it is chiefly meant for adventurous type of products, and therefore its prices are very high, and in Indian market there is no demand for such products, because Indian roads are not suitable for using speedy motors or speedy vehicles, and therefore what happened is, this Harley Davidson, though it is the number one motorcycle producing company, it could not make such a headway, and therefore it opted to go out of India, closing its business. So this is called price risk. So normally this Harley Davidson bikes are priced more than 10 lakh rupees. So when Yamaha product is available for less than 1 lakh rupees, and Enfield giving motorcycles for 1 lakh plus amount, this even Enfield is encountering certain problem, and this Harley Davidson offering some 5 times more than the Enfield motorcycles is not being patronized by many customers in India, and therefore Harley Davidson decided to close its unit in India. So the same example can be extended to customer experience also. So you are buying a motorcycle which can run at a speed of 150 or 200 kilometers, but the road is only suitable for flying motorcycles within the speed of 80 kilometers or 100 kilometers. So in such a context, buying a motorcycle for huge amount and parking it in a home for no utility is not a rational decision, and therefore customer experience is something against this product, and poor usability of this product is going to give a negative report for the product. So customer experience issues is very important as far as a product risk is concerned. Poor quality is another problem encountered by these products, and this is a major segment in risk. So nextly, it is the quality risk. So poor quality is another problem that stops consumers from buying a particular product. For instance, South India, we use large quantity of rice in the place of wheat. So companies such as Ashirwad or Pillsbury, they are into marketing these wheat products. So wheat is also sold in ration shops for very throwaway prices. So what happens is, in ration shops, the wheat that is issued is stated to be highly of substandard quality, and this quality products or this kind of a quality product cannot be used at home by people of the higher segment. In the lower segment, they are convinced with the issue of rice itself, and therefore the issue of poor quality wheat is not only required by the people, but it is also can be stated as non-functional requirement. So similarly, design, testing or quality control can also cause quality risk. And apart from that, we have the issue of brand risk. So as I already said to you, Indian people are used to certain kind of motorcycles. Say for instance, Hero Honda became a very popular motorcycle in the family segment, and Hero Honda has now been splitted, and Honda company is establishing or marketing its own products, and Hero company is marketing its own products. And people buying these products who have already used this Hero Honda Splendor type motorcycles, they are not convinced, mostly they are not convinced with the new products of both the companies, as because they had a complete satisfaction with the previous product, and therefore this brand risk is a matter to be carefully analyzed. So the new brands, if they are not able to satisfy the consumers as the old brands, for instance, similarly bicycles. So there were companies such as Raleigh of the old model, and this model of Raleigh cycles were very successful, but somehow they closed the unit, and now people who have used this Raleigh cycle, they are not convinced with the new model sports type cycles issued by companies of the recent past. The next is inventory risk. Here let us take this service sector for example. So life insurance corporation introduces large number of market oriented or share market linked products. So when this kind of policies are being issued by the Life Insurance Corporation of India, at that time the share market is undergoing severe strain and it is experiencing a downfall. So if this invention has been made earlier, then the insurance segment would have developed manifold. So when some product is failing, at that time when we are giving an invention or innovation, it is not going to kickstart a new trend in the product or service market. So reputation is another important component as far as this product risk is concerned. So Yamaha company, when it established its company or industry in India, it introduced a model of motorcycle called RX 100. So this model of motorcycles are very successful and was widely accepted by the people, and it had a wide market. So based on that provocation, this Yamaha company, it introduced another new model called RX 135 with higher cc capacity. But what happened was this RX 135 turned to be a failure, and therefore Yamaha had a very tough time for 20 long years, and only after it's introducing a new product such as Yamaha Gladiator, it was able to re-establish its reputation. The next important component is compliance and regulation, and as far as this automobile products are concerned, you must have come across people speaking about BS3, BS4, and these are some kind of regulation which has been issued by Environmental Protection Ministry. So how much quantity of carbon these machines or automobile machines can generate has been fixed by the Ministry of Environmental Protection. If that is not suitably followed by companies, then it is going to attract violation of law and legal proceedings, and therefore this will again damage the reputation of the company. if they are not going to go by the compliance and regulations issued by the government. So product liability, failure of a product that causes damage such as unsafe product and results in injuries cause another kind of consumer dissatisfaction. For instance, earlier they were issuing a television set by name Optron. This Optron had higher radiation and it affected the eyes of the consumers who viewed that particular television, and therefore in radios they popularized this message against this Optron TV, saying that if your eyes are affected, it may be because of the use of Optron TV. So there are 10 important components as far as this product risk is concerned, and with this our second unit is over. I would like to end at this stretch, and thank you everybody.